What is up, YouTube? James Polk here, coming to you live from the downtown, where I'm going to give you guys a deck profile here with this important key card, Last Word from Another Planet. In case they do not know what it does, he states that when this card is special summoned, destroy all monsters on my side of the field except himself. And as long as he's face up on the field, both players cannot summon any monster, including Flare Summon Special. You can still set. The thing is, I'm all about getting him out first turn, keep him alive for as long as possible, and then just starts beating everything down. So let's jump to the deck. I play 3 Zombardox. He is one of the materials for Last Warrior. 21. He can't do no direct attacks. And when he destroys a monster, he loses 200 attack. Then we have Marikatais, or Skull Guys. He's the Doom Caliber Knife for spells. And his effect only works during your opponent's turn. And he's the other material as well. I play 3 King of the Swamp. Helps me out a lot to get the poly and greatly increase my chances to make Last Warrior as a first turn. 3 Elemental Prismas. The altered key card to make Last Warrior. 1 Voltic. Voltic's pretty good in testing, but during the event, I never even used him. And 1 Vortex Trooper. Everybody may not know this guy. He says that when I normal summon this guy, I can shuffle 2 cards from my hand into my deck and then draw 2 cards. After this card is destroyed, I draw 1 more card. So essentially, what you do with Trooper is that you summon him, trigger his effect, and then get the combo pieces out to perform that Last Warrior play. Trooper gets destroyed by Last Warrior, and then you get to draw a card. So essentially, that's like a +1 combo play. For spells, I do play a lot of spells. I play 3 Fusion Gate. Sometimes I don't have the right material off from Last Warrior. In that case, I could just play like Fusion Gate heroes. And then the 2 Terraformings to get them. And then 1 single Poly. Searchable off from King of the Swamps. Then to get the Prismas or my other materials out super fast, I play 2 E-Call, 1 Rhoda, and 1 Fusion Conscription. That conscription lets me reveal a fusion monster to my opponent just to grab one of the 2 materials from deck or graveyard and add it back to the hand. And I cannot do anything with that material unless it has to be fusion summoned. Then I play 2 Ahira Lives, 2 Ahira Lips, just to set up first turn Last Warrior or first turn XZ play. Then when you get that Last Warrior, you need something to keep it alive at all costs. So I play 3 Forbidden Lance and 1 Forbidden Dress. The Lances actually helped me out because in one of my feature matches where I play against that Qli Demise, when my opponent activated Forbidden Challenge during the damage step, and then I chained the Lance, so the Qli carrier is not going to get the additional bonus. And on the other note about the Lance and the dresses, based on Last Warrior wise, the Forbidden Quick Play spells actually help me out because if my opponent were to activate a card or effect that deals with destruction to my warrior, I could just chain the dress or the one of the 3 lances just to keep him alive from trouble. And in case if he were to shut the effects down as well, I could just also trigger the lance to keep his effects alive for that additional turn as well. And then the 1 single Raigeki, 1 single Salvage, and the Terminal World. The Terminal World states that I can only activate this during main phase 1. While this card is on the field, both players skip their main phase 2. And then I only play 7 traps, 2 Mirror Forces, very good card. Save zone just to keep my last warrior alive, but sadly can't do no direct attacks to it. 2 light of interventions. The light of intervention is one of the most powerful floodgates in combination with last warrior. You simply perform that last warrior lights play, then it's basically pretty much auto win for you. And I've literally did this like 3-4 out of those 6 rounds, and those combinations actually helped me get the auto win. And then the 2 dark bribes, just to negate destruction and to keep my big guys alive from the field. And then the extra deck, Blade Armor Ninja, Gaga Cowboy. Cowboy actually won me a game because during round 4 of my feature matchup against Qli Demise, where I had Mari Katai and Elementary Prisma keep beating down my opponent, and as long as I had my opponent exactly at 800, I performed Cowboy, and then it just like won me a game. Karen Gorgon and Photon Papillopter, that's all for my XZs. And Blade Armor, Cowboy, and Karen Gorgon were made at least once, but the Photon was never made. Then for the fusions, I play 3 Elemental Shining. You gotta have it if you play Gate Heroes. And then the Absolute Zero. And because my Skull Guy is a water, and with combination of Last Warrior, you can just have Last Warrior trigger that mandatory effect, and when 0 is destroyed because of Last Warrior, 0 is destroyed, my opponent's monsters were to be destroyed as well. But that combination throughout the entire event was never made. Great Tornado never made it. Escarado was made at least once though. She's actually pretty good, because the fact that if I have my Elementary Fusions in my graveyard, she can be a late gamer at times. And during testing, Escarado was made at least once, but during the events, I actually never made her. Elementary Gaia, never made it. Visionary Trinity, never made it. And then 3 Last Warrior Life. It's very rare to get all 3 of these, and the fact that this is the ace in the hole to make him as a first turn, and if my opponent does not have outs, it's basically pretty much auto win for you. And then the side deck, this is where it gets interesting. 2 Powder Duality and a 3rd Light of Intervention. The 3 Neos Alias and 2 Gemini Spark. The Neos Alias came up lately, but Gemini Sparks it did not have. Then I also play Photon Thrasher and the Bowman. I side these guys out for Last Warrior, and then just like turn this into like one of those bubble beats, or like first turn XZ play with those guys just to get the surprise effects off. And then 2 Miracle Fusion. I actually do not main the Miracle Fusion because I don't think it's like necessary. But on a good note is that with Gates on board, you could just like literally go nuts with the fusion summon plays. And then the 2 Parallel World Fusions, in case if I were to put out such fusion monsters that I never even had those chance to come up with, like the Gaias, the Trinities, and so forth. And for those who stuck around watching this deck profile, I want to thank you guys so much. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys later.